So anyway, this is a two-parter. The previous video I said was going to end up as a two-parter because the Cairo, or not the Cairo, just the creatures are, granted that's one of them in here, but the creatures section is a little bit long. So we're just going to include it in a separate video. So yeah, let me get you up to speed real quick, just so we can make sure we're on the same page. We are discovering the lore of Death Stranding 2 in particular. We discovered the lore of Death Stranding 1 in the previous series. Actually, in the same type of series, you can go ahead and check on the channel. Also check out the previous episodes for this exact series, but this will include me going through all this different stuff within the corpus inside of the game to discover the lore of Death Stranding and explain it to you all so you don't have to read it and go into it for yourself. Anyway, this video is going to contain, like every other one in this series, spoilers for gameplay and story. And this one is going to be more gameplay spoilers, but there's always a chance, because these are not scripted, for there to be a spoiler with the story and even big story spoilers, end game story spoilers. So keep that in mind. You have been warned. Gameplay and heavy story spoilers, possibly, and most likely, and yes, inbound. All right, now that you've been warned, let's get back into the second part of this video, because it's actually a continuation. Go watch the previous part. If you want to. I'm actually just trying to, make it like a two-parter type of thing. So like, just go watch the previous episode. It actually doesn't even have an outro. So, yeah, this is really, truly a two-parter. You know what I mean? Anyway, we have Cryptobiote. By the way, the last episode was actually that I'm talking about, that was uploaded before this, is actually about abilities and organizations. Pretty simple stuff, nothing else to it. You know what I'm saying? That was pretty much it. But we have cryptobiotes, electrobiotes, necrobiotes, chronobiotes, chiral creatures, wild animals, test subject kangaroo, timefall resistant emu, rainbow lorikeet, amino acid, beach yeast, and chiral microbes. I do not know if there are more than these. If there are, I'm sorry. We will just cover them in another video. We will come back to it and get back to them in another video. But this is all the ones that I have here. I'm like an end game right now. I'm like after the story is finished, in the end game, finishing up stuff. If there happened to be something I didn't see, or an animal I didn't come across that I missed here, then once I meet it, it'll go back into the thing, or you could just tell me if I missed something, and then I'll just talk about it in another follow-up video. I'll basically just add it to the next one. Anyway, we have the first one, cryptobiotes, creatures that first appeared during following the Death Stranding. They take their name from the process of cryptobiosis, in which an organism suspends its metabolism and effectively, we're trying today. We're trying today. Hey, we keep trying. And effectively enters a state of provisional death to survive in harsh environments. It says a state of provisional death? That's interesting. It suspends its metabolism. Wow. The word comes from the Greek for secret mode of life. Tardigrades and sleeping chrononomids, chironomids, these words they're using are getting insane, bro, have been known to enter cryptobiotic states. Oh my, these words. These new organisms are also capable of living on the beach or in the sea. They were never given a formal scientific name. Cryptobio is now the term that is used in all contexts. They do not have much flavor. Sorry, let me say that in a better way. They don't have much flavor. They don't have much flavor, but are known to boost blood levels when consumed. The skin color of a cryptobiote will change depending on its habitat. After returning from Apas's beach, Tarman continued his research into the ecology of cryptobiotes. While many mysteries surrounding the creature still remain, he was able to ascertain that they undergo metamorphosis during their life cycle in a manner similar to certain insects and crustaceans. The cryptobiotes most commonly observed 10. Let's do that again. The cryptobiotes. Read it again. The cryptobiotes. Is that really how you say that? Cryptobiote. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, we on borrowed time today. The cryptobiotes most commonly observed tend to gather around clusters of land-based coral. After some time, they develop these words. Oh, we're cooked today. They develop chrysalises. And move to a space between this world and the next. As a result, no cryptobiotes have yet been discovered in their chrysalis form. Oh my, we are cooked today. I apologize. One theory posits that insects first evolved the ability to metamorphosize to overcome changes to the climate of the ancient world. If true, then it stands to reason that cryptobiotes crystallization is a response to the Death Stranding. After spending several years or even decades in their chrysalis form, cryptobiotes eclose and appear in this world. At this point, they resemble small angels, like the ones which appeared on the bridge of the DHV Magellan. These are usually referred to as angel bugs, and until now, they're not known to be connected to cryptobiotes. The keychain that Deadman gave to Sam as a gift for Lou was shaped like one of these angels, called angel bugs. That's my words. After reaching the angel bug phase of their life cycle, cryptobiotes shed their skin in a process that is thought to take no more than 7 days. They adopt the appearance of a fetus in the womb. Good one. At this stage, they are known as fetus bugs and are believed to move into the tar where they live for several years. What is this whole life cycle happening right now? One of the greatest mysteries surrounding the cryptobiotes is their reproduction. Almost nothing is known about the process, including at what point in their life cycle it might take place. If we look to ordinary processes of metamorphosis as a guide, we can posit that angel bugs are mature imago cryptobiotes. However, angel bugs do not have sexual organs and do not reproduce. Angels, of course, are spiritual beings created by God. Hey, I mean, makes sense to me. Perhaps cryptobiotes also belong to this category of divine creation. It's interesting that they said that they were spiritual beings created by God when we haven't discussed that type of being within the story of Death Stranding. That's why I was like absolutely flabbergasted that they said that, because they never said that in any other text that we've read. But this is a lot of text. They're talking about angel bugs and fetus bugs and how they go into a whole different style, like a whole metamorphosis, crazy transition. And it makes, I guess, the most sense for me, right? That they are almost like, you could say, like a tadpole turning into stuff, right? But instead it's like the opposite way. But either way, I do like that they kind of resemble angel bugs at one point, but then another point they don't. But then we have electrobiotes, a mutant cryptobiota that has developed the ability to store electricity. Electrobiotes often cluster around clumps of blue coral and can be detected using the Odridex sensor. Also, the cryptobiotes are the ones that heal you. The electrobiotes are the ones that give you like battery, and can be detected using the Odridex sensor. Eating a electrobiote will restore some of your battery. Hey, they say it themselves. If you acquire an electrobiote when your battery is depleted, it will be automatically consumed. And if your battery is full, any electrobiotes you collect will be stored in your utility pouches for later consumption. Unlike cryptobiotes, which have an almost overpowering flavor, electrobiotes numb the taste buds and are prized for being a snack you can gorge yourself on. This one didn't have much information, more just gameplay stuff. Then we have necrobiotes, a cryptobiote variant. Necrobiotes are believed to have developed as a result of tar fall near the Northern Environmental Observatory. Extremely poisonous. Eating one will result in significant blood loss and induce a state of near death within a matter of seconds. During this time, BTs will be both visible and pacified, possibly because they have some affection for the realm of the dead and recognize the eater of a necrobiota as belonging to it. It is this close connection to death that gives these creatures their name, Necros. Hey, walking Spider-Man, Necros. Anyway, being hey, that is an interesting reference to make. Being the Greek word for dead. Necro is a Greek word for dead. Necrobiotes are so toxic, they are liable to kill ordinary people who consume them. Only doom sufferers with superpowers, or those with exceptionally strong constitutions, such as Samson Hook, should consider doing so. Necrobiotes are extremely rare and usually only found near the skeletal remains of stranded animals. Once captured, necrobiotes can be stored in the utility pouch for later consumption. I never use these, like almost ever, because I don't want to avoid BTs. I want to fight them so I can get Kyle crystals. So anyway, they're useless to cryptobiotes. It seems the cryptobiote. Wait, no, what am I? What the? Sorry, I'm getting tripped up by this. It says chronobiote and it says cryptobiotes. Anyway, chronobiote. It seems that the cryptobiotes that Sam brought to the chronobiologists were hiding a surprise. Microscopic chiral creatures known as chiral microbes were among them and have caused their host cryptobiotes to mutate into a new variant, the chronobiote. Eating a chronobiote will accelerate the flow of time within your body, increasing your reaction speeds and making you feel as though time is passing more slowly around you. It is believed this phenomena has something to do with the chiral microbe's adaptation to the tides on the beach, usually found in cold climates. Chronobiotes have white bodies and live in gel-like microbe colonies attached to coral. They are texturally similar to Japanese rice cakes It tastes much better than the Cryptobiotes. Sorry, let me say that in a more better way. And tastes much better than Cryptobiotes. Possibly an evolutionary trait developed by the microparasites to ensure they are ingested by potential hosts. Chronobiotes can be stored in your teleport. Yeah, they're just saying that. It can be stored. Anyway, I actually use these sometimes. I like them in fights, but outside of that, there's no really real reason to use them. But in fights, they're kind of peak. They just slow you down and you can pretty much just drill the enemy with whatever you want. They're really good in BT fights as well. Funnily enough, necrobiotes are horrible in BT fights, but chronobiotes are perfect. Then we have chiral creatures. Chiral creatures known as CCs, you always got to shorten it with Kojima game, began to appear following the Death Stranding. Often emerging from tar, they exhibit herd-like behavior and have been known to attack in groups when approached. Avoiding these creatures is likely the best course of action. They have been known to explode on contact, emitting a corrosive tar. This substance damages boots, cargo, and batteries, and may even pose a threat to human life. If contact is unavoidable, then firearms, even those not loaded with anti-BT ammunition, are known to be effective. Chiral creatures are known to have a degree of resistance to electrical attacks. Chiral creatures have not yet been observed within the UCA, though ongoing research efforts have not been able to determine why. Chiral creatures are not an issue for me. Granted, they can drain your batteries and that's a little annoying, but outside of that, it's like they're not really a problem. You just kind of avoid them and it's just whatever. Then we have wild animals. I have ran over way too many wild animals, I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm very sorry about that. It's just how it is. Many species of animal have become extinct, making all those that remain both precious and rare. Small and medium-sized mammals, including humans, have fared better than most, but reduced numbers mean they struggle to find partners for reproduction. Dwindling genetic diversity has also led to an increased risk of disease and reduced resilience to environmental changes. As a result, over 80% of all remaining species are expected to go extinct within 100 years. To prevent this, efforts are underway to capture, protect wild animals, and experiments with artificial reproduction methods are being tested. At the same time, however, new species that appear to have adapted to the post-stranding environment are constantly being discovered. And the very definition of the word animal, of the word animal is changing. The very definition of the word animal is changing. I'll say it again, just kidding. Test subject, kangaroo. A kangaroo whose unusual and unexpected behavior is marked out for special monitoring. It briefly went on a run, but Sam was able to recover it and return it to the animal shelter. Now this is related to a specific story event. Because the kangaroo fled into a forest dense with chiral radiation, the staff of the animal shelter were concerned it may have suffered chiral contamination. But after testing for contamination symptoms, they found the kangaroo wasn't sick at all, but carrying a joey in his pouch. The joey seemed to have undergone some mutation, with its blood found to contain D amino acids. These are extremely rare. Almost all of the amino acids from which Earth's organisms are comprised are L amino acids. So that baby would differ. Yeah, this one was just a very simple one. You just kind of go in the fire rains down, you're like, oh, let me save you. Yeah, that's whatever, bro. Hey, there are some harder ones that you can find out there, but honestly, this is the hardest one, to be honest. I've saved some other creatures, and they're in like some weird places sometimes, but this one, is probably the hardest one, I'd say. Either way, this isn't really hard. It's just cute to grab them and just take them wherever. Or, to the animal shelter. Then we have timefall-resistant emu, an emu discovered near a BT area. It does not seem to show any signs of aging when exposed to timefall. After Sam rescued the emu, it was examined by the metagenomicist, who discovered that it was hosting parasitic chiral microbes. It seems these were altering the flow of time within the emu's body. Wow. By the way, we do talk about chiral microbes after this. The metagenomicist was able to exploit the properties of these parasitic microbes to develop the EX capture grenades, my favorite of grenades. Then we have rainbow lorikeets. After Rainey joined her drawbridge colleagues on board the DHV Magellan, a rainbow lorikeet was put in charge of her shelter. Yeah, that's a perfect thing to put in charge. Rainbow lorikeets. Lorikeets? What a name. Lorikeet were a common sight in pre-stranding Australia, but almost went extinct due to the dramatic changes to their environment. Now, thanks to the efforts of Rainey and everyone at Rainbow Valley, their population is recovering. Sam, thank you for carrying all that cargo. Sam, squawk. Sam, I love you. Sam, that's them talking, I guess. Hey, they said it themselves. Amino acid. It's thought that the very first life forms developed from clusters of amino acids, the building blocks of proteins that are essential to human life. Amino acid molecules are chiral, meaning they exist in two different forms and are mirror images of each other. These two molecule types are known as L amino acids, the left hand, and D amino acids, the right hand. And D amino acids, the right hand. All the amino acids which form proteins within the human body are L amino acids, as are most of the amino acids that occur in nature. Those found in tar that seeped out of tomorrow's chrysalis, however, are D amino acids. Why is that important? Honestly, couldn't tell you because they're not telling me yet. Then we have beach yeast. In its simple form, pizza is nothing more than a flat piece of dough sprinkled with toppings. The ancient Egyptians made something similar by mixing flour with water and baking the dough into circles after leaving it to ferment. But essential to fermentation is yeast, and the exact yeast used has a huge effect on pizza's flavor and texture. The pizza chef is known to be particularly obsessive when it comes to selecting his yeast. Beach yeast is a fungal organism that originates on the beach, just like Cryptobiotes. Using it in dough gives the final pizza a fantastic chewiness and unique aroma. A true revolution in the world of pizza making is underway. That's interesting. Nothing to say about that one, because guess what? It honestly is related to his like story stuff, but we're not talking about him right now. So yeah. Then we have chiral microbes as the last one, a new type of organism that evolved in response to the post-stranding environment. Chiral microbes are a type of chiral creature that live parasitically on hosts from the world of the dead. They have only been observed living in the snowy mountains, where temperatures are low and chiral density is high. Cryptobiotes are their most common hosts, although some researchers have posited they can also attach themselves to BTs. They didn't posit, that's reality. Anything that they posit in the Death Stranding universe is fact, so they can also attach themselves to BTs. While many varieties of chiral microbes exist, this type that was found appears to affect the flow of time within the bodies of their hosts. Just like regular microorganisms, chiral microbes are invisible to the naked eye. Preliminary investigations have revealed that they can be found in a wide variety of habitats and exhibit a vast range of behaviors. The chiral microbes analyzed by the chronobiologist and the metagenomicist do indeed appear to have some kind of effect on the flow of time. These brought to the F5 East Distribution Center showed signs of tar absorption and coagulation. While much research remains to be done, it seems likely that chiral microbes are to be found in all sorts of places, and that have a connection to the other side, such as BT areas in the tar currents, almost like they can attach themselves to BTs. They posit, apparently. They really be doing that. Oh, we posit. Hey, we have a theory. What is the point of a theory, bro? It's your story, bro. Either it is or it isn't. Like, what is the point of having some theory, bro? But honestly, there wasn't much here that was like crazy. But I do like just seeing how they act and what they do, the different creatures. If there are, like I said, if there are creatures that I missed, which there might be, let me know. I'll get to them. Like I said, we talked about a ton of stuff. In this part 2, you could say, we talked about a bunch of stuff. And a lot of it was the animals, but we also talked about organizations. And we talked a little bit about just some abilities like Doom stuff and Repatriates. But with that being said, hope you liked the video. Leave a like if you did, just like if you didn't. Comment down below what you think about this video. Let me know. And subscribe for more W content like this. We got more on the channel. We got more in the description down below. Also, go ahead and check those out. But you know what also you should be checking out right now? The video on the screen. So go ahead and check that out. Thank you. Thank you.